And welcome to Waffle Board Breaks. How's everybody doing? Got the stream up and live, running, ready to go. We got some hockey on tonight. Good game going, 1-1 with the Stars, of course, and the Jets. I'd love to see the Jets to get this win to get back in the series, but if they lose, it's going to be bad news. So we'll see how they finish this one up. Obviously, about halfway through the game, I think. And obviously, we have 1-1. They got back and they tied it. So we'll see if they're able to close it up, tie the series. We shall see. Looking forward to that. Obviously, we have the rest of the second period into the third. So we'll get breaking here. Just one box tonight, guys. Just a Facebook claim box. 28 boxes on the table and shelf. Love it when it's down into the 20s. This is you guys' chance to get great odds on every break between now and the reload. Obviously, 28 boxes, all claimed, all spots claimed and taken care of. So nothing out there dangling right now. You guys know the drill. You guys have been chasing some of these spots for quite some time. We've hit an older spot, a couple older spots. Actually, we had one from the last reload, second last reload, and one from the January reload. Got knocked them out last week. So and then we hit the couple from the little, I guess the what's that, was the March reload. Yeah, that was the March reload we hit. So there's only two left from that reload. So older stuff is going. You know, we're doing a good job of knocking out. Like I said, only 2 boxes left from last year. Then we have 3 from February, 2 from March. And then we had 8 from that April reload and 13 from this, technically the May reload, even though it was the last week of April. So we'll see. We'll see what goes on. The next, we got 6 boxes before the reload. Might be a light reload right now. I'm looking at 12. Of course, I like to get up to 16. So hopefully in the next week I can grab a couple other jerseys to get us filled up. But I have at least 12. I think 9 in the hands. I got 3 on the way. Grabbed a couple today that are actually on the way to me. Should have them before the end of the week. But so it's looking good. Right now I have 12 incoming with 12 different teams, which is pretty cool. Don't like to go too heavy. Obviously, sometimes we have to double up in a reload, and if they don't get hit, they sit there for a little while. We have 2 Rangers, 2 Blues from this last reload, and we have 2 Rangers from an older reload. We've been hitting our Leafs, so they're thinning out the Leaf population. So we're getting there. Like I said, I never like to have too heavy in any teams. Obviously, what's available to me and what I can grab for decent prices. Sometimes I need to double up. At times, we've never had to double up the same name. So I do have some backups if stuff hits. So that's just, helpful to me to fill in. And then I can always decide if I want to trim anything from the PC. I've added a couple over the last couple weeks that if there's anything on the chopping block, it'll probably go into the reload as well. But if they're coming from my PC, that they're quality names and jerseys and styles and SIGs and everything. So it's fun. Like I said, it's painful to me to have to carve a couple out to get you guys chasing them, but it's sometimes it's necessary. They said that the playoffs are going strong. Like I said, we got a couple teams down 3-1, which is absolutely insane. Obviously, the Vegas can be down. Winnipeg can be down 3-1. Vegas is already down 3-1. Edmonton, somebody woke up. McDavid has been absolutely amazing. Skinner has been able to been good in net, obviously, since Pickard played most of the playoffs, and then Skinner's been good since they got him in, other than the one that drives out tipped in to lose the game in the last second the other night. But Skinner's been good. Obviously, they shut him out the last game, and when they're getting goals from people other than Draisaitl and McDavid, Edmonton can be a scary team, as we saw last year. If these things start to go their way, they can make another run. Obviously, they're 1 win away from being in the conference finals. So we'll see. Like I said, obviously Dallas and Winnipeg, Winnipeg's had great seasons. Dallas is, tested as a playoff team. Obviously, I wouldn't be surprised if they get to the finals. They've been there. They're solid from top to bottom. Miro is back tonight, which is a big boost to their blue line. Robertson's already back that team is pretty much at full strength, which is scary because at full strength, if they're all clicking, I mean, I think that might be the best team right now in the league, especially with Hellebuck kind of faltering and Washington being down 3-1. Carolina is a scary team. They play some boring hockey at times, but it's effective, and especially if you have the players that fit your system. You know, you got guys. Their blue line is rock solid. If you don't watch a lot of Carolina games, then it can be kind of a bit of a drag. But because seeing that them perfect their defensive style and take advantage because they do have talent up front. The Jarvises and the Ahu's and like now Stankoven and Svechnikov. That team is scary. So it's if they get the quality goaltending that they've been getting, I mean they're a deadly team. Obviously, panic button in Toronto. We'll see if the fold is not complete. Obviously, they have to right that ship after being up 2-0, and now the Panthers, defending champion, showed their moxie, came back and won the last two. So now it's a best of 3 series with Toronto at home ice. I mean, if they lose this one, they probably just blow up the stadium and fire everybody at this point in time. But Toronto, like I said, 3 teams from Canada is still alive. Winnipeg's fighting for their life, and Toronto's tied 2. And Edmonton is looking fierce. So, like I said, I wouldn't be unhappy if any of these 8 teams, wins. I said, I would really like to see Winnipeg get there, but I'd be happy to see this Dallas team, play for the cup again. I'd love to see the Panthers try to defend their cup since a Florida team has been in the finals for 5 straight years, with the Bolts winning twice and losing once, and then Florida losing once to Vegas and then winning again. So Vegas, we like to see them get their back there because that team is built to win, but they're starting to show some cracks. So I mean, they're not getting the shots they need to win, which is not good in the playoffs. Some teams can win without getting shots, but I don't think that Vegas is one of them. So we shall see how we go there. But other than that, like I said, just one box tonight. Then we get to finishing up watching the only game of the night. I think we have Toronto tomorrow night. So let's get to the point where you just get one game a night, which hurts. Obviously, you don't get a late game. Obviously, we don't have any West Coast teams that they have to cater to. Edmonton, kind of. Winnipeg is more in the middle. We don't have anybody. Vegas is still west. So you got a couple west. Dallas technically feels west, but they're not that west. So it's the East obviously is well represented. We'll see. Obviously, I think the league is cringing at the thought of a Winnipeg Carolina final, but like I said, we'll see how the chips fall in the second round. But I mean, Carolina, you can't begrudge how effective they are. They're definitely making Washington look a little. Once you neutralize that top line, you take away the Strome and Ovechkin scoring. I mean, obviously Ovechkin scored a power play goal last game, but that they beat them pretty soundly. Once you eliminate that top line, Washington doesn't seem to have the depth and skill on the forward lines to beat Carolina. So Carolina looks like they're going to lock that up, up 3-1, and then we'll see who comes out of Toronto and Florida series. Imagine if Toronto got out of that series and they got to play Carolina and they just stifled them. There'd be more panic in the Toronto land, but we'll see. They'd be so happy to get to the next round, and then they run into a stifling team like Carolina. So, but the East, like I said, the East has got good quality, solid teams, but I think these West teams are the best. So we're seeing them on display. And Edmonton, man, get that snowball rolling downhill. I mean, and then obviously everybody in Canada would love to see. I mean, everybody's a hockey fan. You'd like to see McDavid, raise the cup, kind of, complete that, the career arc. Obviously, he's one of the best players of all time, but future Hall of Famer. Same with Draisaitl. But obviously, they always talked about it before, Ovechkin raised his cup, even though he's the all-time leading goal scorer. But that was the one thing that was lacking from his trophy case. And, when he finally got over the hump past the Penguins and they're able to make that run and get that cup, obviously everybody breathed a sigh of relief once Ovechkin got that cup because he is an all-timer. I mean, I'm not gonna say McDavid's not an all-timer if he doesn't win a cup, but I mean, we got the 2 best hockey players in the league probably, and him and Dry. You got to get that cup. So, mean, it's tough to build a team. Obviously, these GMs are as good as these players, and you gotta juggle a salary cap. You can't just throw money at it like teams have done in the past. But we'll see if Edmonton can keep having things fall their way. They've had some puck luck. They've had some bad puck luck, obviously with the tip in the other day, but the puck has gone their way more often than not. So we'll see if Edmonton can keep it going. I would not, Edmonton Dallas in that Western Conference final would be amazing. Like I said, if they beat each other up so much, maybe they show little chinks in their armor for whoever gets out east. I'll see whoever it may be, whether it's Carolina looking to clog it up or Florida looking to defend their cup, their Stanley Cup championship. We'll see. Like I said, the playoffs are good. Like I said, I have no complaints. Obviously, other than my Bolts being knocked out early, it's been some great players on. Obviously, Colorado has some great players. Seeing them knocked out early was, kind of a bummer for the game. But we got some good hockey to watch. So I'm excited. So yeah, there's just one box tonight. Obviously, the same spot price preview will go up for Thursday, and we'll be down to 27. So this is where you guys. This is your chance to shine with the great odds. Grab your spots. Hit those jerseys. Got some great ones in those boxes. Like I said, 24 right there on the table, and then the other 4 right there on the shelf. They're all represented, so we'll see what comes out tonight. So we'll see if anybody else stops by. Everybody's going to hope is watching the games who is stopping by to watch with us live. Anybody here, give a shout out. Who's here watching? Let me see. I didn't check our chats. Who we got in the room? What do we got? Who's here? Who wants to say hi? Oh, Derek. Oh, of course. Derek's been hot. Obviously, you feel like you're cooling off, but I don't think so. I was looking at my last, 15 or 20, and I see your name in there more than a couple times. So anybody that's that hot, obviously, since we do, 2 on Sunday and then, 1 on Tuesday, 1 on Thursday, and you almost completed, the quad. So it's getting there. Obviously, the turkeys are huge. Quads would be the first of its kind, but like I said, some people when you hit one right after that, so you hit 4 or 5. I know Big Al's done that before. I think Ron may have done that. I think CK maybe. I'm not sure. I have to look at the backlog of the breaks, but you've been on fire. Some of you guys, like I said, I'm seeing. You guys have. One of you guys have hit semi recently. I know Big Al's hit. I know Mike H has hit. CK's has hit. Sadik is back strong tonight. Hopefully, he's trying to get back into the win column after having been idle for quite some time. But when he's available, he comes back like with a force. So I know he's got some spots tonight. He's got 4 or 5. So it's like I said, it's tough. I think there's 11 different people, and it's tough with 28 spots. Then you can't divide them up really easily. And we have a couple 1-spotters. I'd like to welcome back John R. He's got a spot tonight. Who else is? I think Jason M. I'd like to welcome back. Obviously, you got to do the Jets represent. So what up, sir? What up, Sonic in the house? Like I said, yeah, Thomas M's got a couple. CK's got a couple. 3 actually. Ty's here representing. Ron, of course, grabbed this as close with the last 2 spots. Thomas M grabbed a couple late, so he got the 2 just before that. So technically, Ron's the closer. So we'll see if the closer mojo carries over for him. That Jacques Lemaire. Can't believe you guys disrespected Jacques Lemaire. He's a multi-cup winning player and head coach, all-timer with the Canadiens. Obviously, he's a double head coach, but you don't see the Jacques Lemaire autos very often. So I'm surprised that sits. We don't have a lot of Canadian the spot buyers, so it's tough when you have these Canadian teams well represented. Obviously, Winnipeg Jets are near and dear to me because I love watching most of their team play, including Scheif. He didn't have the goal. I think the goal was Ehlers under the pad. So, but Ehlers he's having a pretty decent playoffs overall. I mean, that team, I love the Ginger Sniper. So I'd like to see him do well. He had an assist on that goal. So just after the power play ended. So, but hey, everybody else is here. Who else is here? Derek, of course, Ron, John R, Thomas M, Ty, Sadik, Derek, CK, Steve S, my man up in Amityville. Jason M said the 1-spotter. So you guys, good luck to all you guys. I'd like to see you back here, as many of you, Thursday as well. Once we get down to 27 boxes, of course, 26 and 25 is insane for Sunday's last double box before the reload. So we'll see what I can get in the next, 7 to 10 days for that reload. I have to have it pretty much ready for next Tuesday. But spots are live. Just a reminder for Sunday already. So I'll end whatever hits tonight, of course, and Thursday. And then, of course, we'll be down to the 26 spots and 25 for the Sunday break. So let's get going to this. Don't want to wait too long. We'll get back to the game. I think it might be an intermission already. Where are we? Didn't see it. Where we are in that game. I think we're just about getting to the third. So let me get my everything's been running pretty well with my streaming stuff. So I rebooted, refreshed everything, restarted my list. So we are ready to roll. It's my dice roller. Okay, let's get it going. Okay, as always, 5 or more on our dice roll to decide which our box is going to be. The boxes are here in order. We have 2 single boxes. Then we have 3 and 2. So just the oldest 2 from 2024, then 3 from Feb, 2 from March. And then we have 8 and 13 from the last 2 reloads. So, you're looking at 20 boxes, 13 from the last reload. So it's almost a 50-50 chance one of those is going to come out. And, of course, 21 from the last 2 reloads of the 28 boxes. So the odds are pretty good. It's going to be from the last 2 reloads. Better than 2/3 chance. So we'll see it. 5 or more. Good luck, everybody. Let's see what we got tonight. 6. 6 works. Double 3s. So 6 times our list. Good luck, everybody. Can't wait to see it. Do some monsters. Let's see what monsters we got. Everything's great, but we'll see. We got some long chased jerseys. So 28 one time. 2. Look how smooth it's running. 3, 4, 5. And the box we're going to open tonight's 28 boxes is going to be box number 92, of course. Very last box left from the reload. 93 we've hit. 92 6 times. 92 6 times. 28 boxes. 92. Here we go. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. 92. Okay, 92. Circle that. Let's see what we got. There's my list of winners. Let me make my list 92. Okay. 92 it is. Of course, 92 is the very bottom of the pile over there. So 92, grab that. 92 it is. I probably won't add anything to the piles until after the weekend because I'll get our last 3. So we'll have, of course, the 24 for next Tuesday. So here we are. Good luck, everybody. 92 it is. Where's my list? I think most everybody, we have a lot of people live here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost like 9 90s, I think. Let's see what we got. 92. Okay, here we go. 28 boxes. Who's luck? Oh, this is one of my favorites. Right out the PC. Steven Stamkos, CCM, Sarnia Sting, OHL jersey. There it is. Absolutely beautiful. Couldn't wait for that to come out. There it is. Steven Stamkos, blue ink with the 91, AJ's COA. Like I said, sometimes I gotta put things in from my PC in the boxes. There it is. Right out of my PC today. There's no way to label the envelopes. Steven Stamkos, Sarnia Sting, autographed, CCM, OHL, junior legend, first overall draft pick out of Sarnia to the Tampa Bay Lightning, now Nashville Predators. There we go. Look at that. Boom time. There we go. We talk about the monsters. Stamkos. See, I love these OHL, the CHL jerseys are just Absolutely monstrous. Gotta love them. There we go. 91. Steve, look at the Sarnia Sting. Look at that crest. Gotta love it. Of course, the OHL logo, CCM, and the A, Sarnia Sting. There it is. Gotta love to chase those beautiful, weird, alternate. Every time I get anything cool like that for you guys, I'm more than happy. I have a couple of my PC that I'm not willing to part with as of right now, but Stamkos was on the chopping block. There it is. Sarnia Sting. Come on. You gotta love that. You're a hockey fan, you don't love the Sarnia Sting jerseys. I don't know what to tell you. There it is. The monsters of monsters. Sarnia Sting. Steven Stamkos. Congratulations. Very, very nice. Sorry, of course, for everybody that did not hit. But that will go to Ty. Is that Ty? Ty. Congratulations, Tyrone. Where are you? Not watching live? Come on. Congratulations on the Stammer. I was hoping what the Stammer was going to be in here with us because I love that. Like I said, that's been in nobody else's hands after it landed with me. That's absolutely beautiful. CHL logos. Yeah, very, very nice. Fantastic. Just an absolute beaut. Congratulations again. Love seeing that. Tags and everything still on there. CCM tags. What was the jersey retail? Obviously Canadian price. That's not even on here. No, there it is. $409.19 Canadian, which is still something. Was like 200, a little over 200 in US dollars, not today dollars. Unbelievable. Of course, with the AJ's COA hollow sticker and card ends, the blue Stamkos Seg. Very, very nice. Tough to part with that one, but I'm glad to get it to you guys. So congratulations. Congratulations to everybody that's been chasing that. Congratulations to Ty who's hit that. Thank you very much. Like I said, I'll make sure that's ended on eBay, and I'll take it off the list for Thursday. So that one hurts because it's absolute beaut. So, but congratulations to Ty for that. Sorry for everybody that did not hit. It's nice to see such a beauty come out the boxes, so you guys know that they're in there. So congratulations again. Look forward to seeing everybody back here on Thursday. Make sure you enjoy the rest of the game tonight and tomorrow, and we'll do it again on Thursday. Waffleboard Breaks loves you all, appreciates you all, and can't wait to see you on Thursday. Very good. Waffleboard Breaks is out, guys. Take care.